Which Poison member dated Pamela Anderson before Tommy Lee got all up in that shit?
That'd be Bret Michaels.
That would be correct. Good job, Wacko. Which Slayer album featured the song War Ensemble? Think of the album.
I don't know this.
War Ensemble, man. What album's it on? Slayer.
I know.
Oh, I think you got it first, Wacko.
I'm guessing Rain and Blood.
No. Seasons in the Abyss.
What's yours?
Seasons in the Abyss.
Correct. Good job. Fucking Wizzo got it, dude. That's what the Warpo Show's all about, motherfuckers. AC/DC is originally from what country? Wacko.
The land down under. Australia.
Good job, brother. Chuck Schuldiner was fighting a brain tumor for years when it finally took his life. He was the leader of death metal and the band named Death. At the time he died, what position in the band did he hold?
He was a lead guitar and vocalist?
Lead guitarist and vocalist, correct. The singer of this band threatened to beat up the entire crowd at the Reading Festival in England. Who was the band? Said
Guns N' Roses.
Nope, but that's a great choice. What do you think?
Skid Row.
Twisted Sister. D. Snyder probably could take about 10 of them or 15 of them out too, because fucking I have a feeling that he could kick somebody's ass if he got really mad. What do you guys think? D. Snyder, he's a pretty big dude, right? Maybe not anymore, but I guarantee you back then, what fucking year was it? He would have kicked some ass back in the 80s. Right, who's the bassist for Down? The band Down. Rex Brown from Pantera. He joined it with Phil, and then they formed Down, and then Rex Brown, the dude that was left, he joined.
I thought it was like the guitarist to Corrosion of Conformity were in Down, or something like that.
What band name did thrash metal band Testament go by before deciding on their current name? What was their first name? Testament. Their first album is the name of their band name that it used to be.
Like that helps.
Yeah. No.
It would if you're a Testament fan.
I suppose.
Legacy. That has Alone in the Dark on it. That one's sick. Okay. Which band's sophomore album's name would be used to define the metal subgenre known as black metal? Who started black metal? Wizzo. Venom. Fuck yeah.
That was my guess.
Before joining Metallica, what band was Jason Newsted a member of? Oh, that was Wizzo.
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Flotsam and Jetsam. Although this band had a nice career for themselves, they're more famous for supplying Metallica with Kirk Hammett. Who are they? They're good on their own, but they gave Kirk Hammett to Metallica. So what band did Kirk Hammett come from?
Exodus.
Wacko. Exodus. Fuck yeah, dude. Do the Toxic Waltz. Fuck yeah, dude. I'm a huge Exodus fan. I watched the Toxic Vault with Steve Zetro Souza, and it fucking rules. And shout out to him for some inspiration for the Warpo Show, along with that metal show and a lot of fucked up game shows, and part my own weirdness. So, what record label does Brian Slagle own and operate? The dude that signs all the metal bands.
What's it called? Like American or... No.
Interscope.
Metal Blade. AC/DC's original lead singer is...
Bon Scott.
Everyone would think that. I thought that. Dave Evans.
Yeah, some
Nobody
guy.
knows that. Dude should have jumped on that train, right? He'd have been riding the gravy train now. Before John Bush joined Anthrax, what band did he sing in? I mentioned it earlier.
Armored Saint.
Armored Saint. Blank Blank left Cannibal Corpse to go to 6 Feet Under.
Chris Barnes.
Chris Barnes. What band sang Sinister Double and Chain Gang Woman and Rockin' With You? Nobody gets this because it's one of my favorite bands that nobody heard of that has 2 fucking full-blown gem of albums. 2 of them. One of them's called License to Kill, and one of them, the very first one, is called In the Beginning. Oh, I'll give it to you if you could pull it out.
Halloween?
Nope, close though. Malice. You ever seen that movie with Fred Savage, the dude off the Wonder Years, and Judge Reinhold, where they swap bodies from that voodoo skull, and the boy is in the dad's body and the dad's in the kid's body? No. You got to see that. It's called Vice Versa. Okay? And they go to a concert in that movie that is actually Malice, because he wants to go to a concert, right? And he's a little kid, but he's in his dad's body, and his dad takes his date to see this rock band because he's a huge fan. And sure as shit, it's fucking Malice, dude. And it fucking is so badass, and it's so funny, dude. You have to see that. What anti-PMRC metalheads released Stay Hungry in 1984? Wacko.
Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister. I was born Frank Carlton Ferrana Jr. on December 11th in 1958 in San Jose, California. After a troubled teenage life that took me from Idaho to Washington, I moved to California and started a heavy metal band. I play bass guitar and was at a time married to 2 different Playboy models, Brandy Brandt and Donna DeJericho, from 1906 to 2001. Who am I? Wacko.
Some lucky bastard.
True. Nikki Sixx. Motley Crue. What's the name of the mascot for Iron Maiden? Okay.
Eddie.
Eddie. I was going to say, you have to know that. Somebody does. During the Big Four, which was the only band to perform with its original lineup. During the Big Four, the only band that had all 4 original members.
Isn't that Anthrax? Aren't they all together now?
No. It was Slayer. Good choice, though. I guess all of you have heard of Iron Maiden and know who Bruce Dickinson is. But do you know he left the band in 93 to search new music and later returned in 99? Who was the band's lead singer when he wasn't around? It's a trick question. Let's see if you remember.
No one cares about.
I know, but you know his name. Let's see how good you remember things. Blaze Bayley. Fooled ya. This band was the first death metal band to be on the to be on the Billboard charts. Billboard chart. Death metal band, the only one.
Oh no.
Wizzo.
I was gonna say Death.
Nope.
Nope.
Cannibal Corpse, yeah. Should have went with that one. The guys from Slayer show their punk roots on their 1996 album Undisputed Attitude. Around this time, Slayer is having problems finding a permanent drummer. Who plays the drums on Undisputed Attitude? Wizzo.
Greg Gall? Or no?
He's still with Slayer right now.
Paul Bostoff?
Correct.
There we go.
I'll give it to you. Wizzo got it. The song Bark at the Moon comes next on the station. The song was recorded by Ozzy Osbourne during 1983. Directly after the death of Randy Rhoads in a plane crash, Jakey Lee stepped in and did a great job of assuming the role as a guitar player for Ozzy. Which guitarist was originally scheduled to replace Rhoads, but it ultimately never worked out?
I heard this a long time ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
What is it?
I
dig deep in the vault of Wacko's metal mind. George Lynch of Dokken. This drummer is known for his speed and accuracy. He plays on the song Dead Skid Mask. Who is it? Wacko for 10.
Isn't that Lombardo?
Dave Lombardo. Which of the following band members were nicknamed the Toxic Twins? Wacko.
Joe Perry and the Tyler.
What's his first name?
Steven.
Correct. Good job, buddy. In which early Motley Crue video did Nikki Sixx light himself on fire?
I can see the...
Live Wire. It's a pretty cool video. Which of these vocalists was nicknamed the Air Raid Siren by his band? Tim the Ripper Owens, Rob Halford, Ozzy Osbourne, or Bruce Dickinson? The Air Raid Siren. Wacko.
I'm gonna guess Rob Halford.
Tim the Ripper Owens.
Bruce Dickinson. I look at it like they probably call him the Air Raid Siren because you remember in Aces High when he's like, "Flash goes the siren that warns off the air raid." Like, and the what is it? Was it air raid? Is something that pertains to planes, right?
Yeah.
And isn't Bruce Dickinson the pilot of their own 747 that flies them all over the world on tour? And then he plays the friggin' show. What a badass. I have this book and I'm reading it right now. Pretty sick, huh? And you know what else he does? He's an expert fencing guy.
Yeah,
you know, like with the sword things.
With the foil.
Yeah, that'd be cool to watch. Bruce, who produces most of not all of Slayer's albums? Wacko for 10.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin. What's Ozzy's birth name? John Osborne. Which member of Motley Crue appeared on the reality show The Surreal Life? Wacko for 10.
Nikki Sixx.
Vince Neil. Who played guitar on Megadeth's Peace Sells But Who's Buying album along Dave Mustaine?
Chris Pollock.
Chris Pollock. On which album did Jason Newsted make his Metallica debut? Whoa, that was fast.
And Justice.
And Justice for All. Good job. What was the name of the 1986 horror movie starring Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons? Which I own this movie and it's fucking great. Wacko for 10.
Attack of the Geriatrics.
Nope. Trick or Treat. It's fucking killer, dude. You remember the guy Skippy off Family Ties?
Yes.
He plays this heavy metal kid that fucking worships this dude in this band called Sammy Kerr. And Sammy Kerr's dead, and he comes back from the dead and kills everybody at their high school dance. And Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons is in the movie. It's really cool. You gotta check that out. How many years did Kiss leave their makeup off? This is a lucky number. That's your hint. Wacko for 10.
7.
Want to take a stab at this, Wizzo?
I'm going to say 6 years.
13. That's a long time, actually, for them to have their makeup off. Till they're sitting around one day and they're like, maybe we should put our makeup back on.
Maybe people care about us again. We can actually sell tickets now.
I know, but do you think they ever had an issue with that? When they didn't have their makeup, like ticket sales and stuff?
No,
I thought
pretty...
they still did good, right? Unless, you know, there's some I don't know, but like...
Those are the lost era for me, so...
Yeah, I know, I was a kid,
well,
kind of
maybe
disappointed just a little bit.
Yeah, everyone kind of was, but I still love those albums like Revenge, Carnival of Souls. Dude, Animalize, fucking love that album, bro. Fuck yeah, dude. Heaven's on Fire and I've Had Enough, Into the Fire, and what's some other songs on there? Paul Stanley fucking rules, man. Seriously, dude, I love him. Who once performed a guitar solo on top of an active volcano in Hawaii? Wacko.
That's something sounds like Nwiggy Malmsteen would do.
Nope. I'll give you a hint. He owned his old amp.
Yeah.
Oh,
George Lynch.
George Lynch. What Christian rocker stormed out of California in 1984 with the Yellow and Black Attack? Yep. Go for it, Wacko.
I'm ashamed. I know. Striper.
That's funny.
It's actually a great album, really.
Hey, I don't bag on any dudes because their lyrics are about God. If their fucking music rocks, dude, then it rocks, you know?
It's gotta be one of the top power metal albums, the Black and Yellow, the Yellow and Black Attack. It is really a great album if you can just substitute God with your girlfriend and everything will be all right.
Okay, well, I'll approach that with an open mind and jam it sometime on the way to work. Thank God for the internet. You could jam anything now. Okay, so I'm going to say something and you guess who I am, all right?
Okay.
I was born on December 13th, 1948. I attended St. Viator High School in Arlington Heights, Illinois. My first hit was about a trip to the middle of the brain. My first wife died in a car crash in 1982. My second wife is the former Shemaine and a member of Shemaine Diesel, I think I'm pronouncing that okay, a member of the news staff at WLLS-FM, and they were married on January 21st in the 80s. And I formed the first supergroup with former members of Styx and Night Ranger. Besides over 20 solo albums, I also co-authored several books on my favorite subjects. Who am I? Wacko for 10.
Jack Blades.
Nope. Ted Nugent.
That was who I was thinking.
This big four thrash metal band was formed in 1981 in New York City by Scott Ian and Danny Loker.
Anthrax.
Anthrax. Which band did Kirk Hammett leave to join Metallica? I'm going to make you know this.
Exodus.
Exodus. Now look how fast he knows the Exodus. All right, we're going to some girly mode here with some feminine chicks band on the Warpo Show. What's the...
Vixen.
Okay, what is the name of the band that Lita Ford and Joan Jett played in? Wacko.
The Runaways.
The Runaways. Who's hotter?
Joan Jett.
Wacko. Wizzo, what do you think? Who's hotter, Joan Jett or Lita Ford? The blonde chick or the brunette?
I'll go with the blonde, the Lita Ford.
Yeah, there you go. I probably would go the Lita Ford too, because Joan Jett's one, not into dudes, so she'd probably be playing hard to get. And then two, I'm not into usually I'm into dark hair, but not if it's super short like a dude. So, and Lita Ford still has some, but she's not the greatest, but she's old, so she's held up well. Lita, good job. This band formed with singer Mike Meyer, became very famous with Institutionalized, joined the army, and I Saw Your Mommy.
Suicidal.
Wacko. Suicidal. Suicidal's pretty cool. You guys seen them in concert ever?
No.
What about you, Wizzo?
No,
I seen them before, and I seen also Mike's other band, Infectious Grooves, once.
I'd like to see them.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And you know who plays drums with Suicidal today? I'll give that to you as a 10-point question if anybody knows.
Is that Rudy Castillo?
Nope, he's dead. They booted him from Slayer.
Oh, yeah.
Dave
He had
Lombardo.
no place to go. Dave Lombardo.
How many times has he been booted from Slayer?
I don't know, man. They can't come across an agreement, and I love Dave Lombardo, but dude, Paul's fucking sick as shit. I think everyone's happy. You know why? Because Dave is also playing with the Misfits. Every time Glenn Danzig and Jerry Only and the Frankenstein all get together, they all fucking jam out original Misfits, and he's the man on drums.
Sweet.
Yeah. Okay, what is the title of the first song on Metallica's Master of Puppets album? You pump it in. You're a kid. You got stoned. What's the first song? Wacko for 10.
Battery.
Battery, fuck yeah. Battery! Dun, 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 dun. I loved how fast that song is. That was fucking... When I was a kid... Let me tell you a brief little story. This kid named Tony and Irby lived down the street. They were these stoner dudes with long hair. Metallica Master Puppets just came out. I went to their pad and we were smoking some weed, and they whipped out the Metallica tape. It was back when it was cassette tapes. There weren't even CDs yet. That was the thing of the future at this point. They fucking throw in the cassette of Metallica. Battery comes on. Fucking Tony starts headbanging his head into the wall, like literally, and fucking it was all bleeding. And he's like Metallica, and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, and the music fucking ruled, and I was like, okay, any band that makes their fans do that, dude, something's up with that. So I was like, this band's gonna fucking be something, or something's happening with this band. Something's with this band, you know? And that was Metallica, man. Master of Puppets. So Battery was the first one on there. All right. What year did Sacred Reich break up, if anybody knows? Wiley and Sacred Reich, they rule. But they broke up in what year? See if you know. Take a plunge.